Hello, my brothers and sisters. We are back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in so much. Everyone, I want to say I'm sorry. It's been like 5 weeks since I posted a video. My goodness. It's been about 5 weeks, y'all. And, I know maybe some of y'all feel like I left y'all on red. Well, hey, guess what? I'm here. We're back. The delay. The delay was school, you guys. Remember, I'm a full-time college student. Right now, we're in midterms. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And not only that, but as you can tell, I got a new backdrop, right? All this right here behind me is different, right? So, shout out to my mom for helping me. My mom helped me with the backdrop, you guys. And so, another reason why I didn't make a video for a while is because of the backdrop. I didn't like the backdrop, you guys. It was like there was like some paintings in the distance, and it was a little distracting, right? And then like the things I'm talking about, it's like okay, we need something that's more relevant, right? More new. We're warriors, man. We are Marines, we're soldiers for Christ, right? We're Spartans. So that's we're lions, right? We're not afraid. We're bold, right? So that's the whole idea of the channel, to encourage people, to help people, right? And then so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna fix the backdrop right now. So we got all this behind us, you guys. Got the comic book Bible series right here. Got the sword right here, y'all, from Lord of the Rings. We got the American flag. Let's go. So we'll see where the channel goes. I'm still thinking of a banner. So you guys, I've been designing like a YouTube banner. And what else? There's gonna be thumbnails now in the YouTube videos. So like previously, it was just me saying what I'm talking about, but now you get guys. I've been having a lot of dreams. I've had a lot of dreams over like the last few years, the last few months, even the last few weeks, right? So I'm gonna start putting thumbnails out there of what my dreams look like, right? And we're gonna just start making videos, So yeah, this has been just like an amazing journey, right? With YouTube, right? Starting off small. I'm still small, but it doesn't matter. But just learning how to run the platform, learning how to do all the, just like all the imagery, just everything, right? So guys, just bear with me as y'all ride with me on this journey, all right? Anyways, let's get into it. Today, I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, not only that, me coming back, right? It's been about 5 weeks, but I wanted to talk about just things that everybody goes through, such as desires, right? Thoughts. And then a lot of times, you guys, and I'll use myself as an example because I am not perfect, you guys. Don't think just because I'm on YouTube making these videos that I'm a perfect, I guess, like cookie cutter Christian. No, that's not true. I am not perfect. Not in the slightest. There's still a lot of thoughts that I go through, a lot of desires, right? Sometimes frustration, right? Y'all, I got hit today. I got hit today with frustration. And but luckily I talked to my brother though. So my brother's actually really good at just like picking my brain, asking me questions. Okay, why this, why that? And then eventually the frustration goes away, right? Because I'm not thinking of those thoughts anymore, right? So guys, I want to talk about frustration today. And specifically like why people can be frustrated. Not necessarily like they might not even be like going through something like I guess like physically, but like more of like a subconscious kind of thing, right? Like a subconscious kind of frustration, like a lot of people, I would say men in particular, at least from what I've seen, but like a lot of young men that I know around my age, go through like frustration or anger, and like I'll ask them why, and they're like, well, I don't know, so that's kind of a problem. We got to start knowing what this thing is, right? We got to start knowing what this frustration is coming from, right? So, and as well as the anger, right? So time to start addressing these things, y'all. And, coming out of addiction and all that, like retraining the brain, rewiring the brain is not an easy process, but don't let that dishearten you. Oh, disheartened. That's another one. Disheartedness. We're going to talk about that too. So frustration, anger, disheartedness. Some people could say low self-esteem with that, maybe hopelessness, right? So we're going to talk about all these things. But anyways, as I was saying, like, we have to get to the root of frustration. We have to get to the root of anger, right? And I noticed, like, with myself in particular, a lot of times I've caught myself being frustrated. And I'm like, okay, so now that I have Christ, I'm aware of these things, right? I'm like, oh, okay, Lord. Like, just start asking yourself questions. Like, okay, why am I frustrated? Jesus, I put you on, I put on Ephesians 6. Jesus, I surrender to you. And start talking to the Holy Spirit, you guys. Like, okay, like, I'm a child of God. So why am I frustrated, right? Well, probably because you're a child of God. You're going through a lot, right? Subconsciously, you're going through a lot. And, a lot of confliction, right? A lot of conviction, a lot of, maybe like doubts and everything. So me in particular, you guys, like frustration, usually the frustration starts off as a thought. Now, which is good because at least I know where it's coming from, right? So like, okay, so like if I'm frustrated going about my day, right? And I'm like, okay, Lord, I feel this anger. I'm like, oh, I feel this frustration. It's like, okay, at least I'm able to pinpoint it now. And guys, usually like 90% of the time, actually, no, like usually 100% of the time, it's a thought. Whether I get out of bed or I'm like throughout the days I'm going through school or something like that. Usually it's a thought. Now that sigh feeling, some people might not know what that is, but if you really question why you're feeling like that, it's a thought. Usually it's a thought. And, knowing that, I thank God because we have the power to change our thoughts, right? So whatever the thought is, you guys, that's causing the frustration, usually you're probably frustrated about something that's not happening, or maybe a desire, right? A desire that you have that's not being fulfilled. So, you see the chain here, thoughts lead to frustration, thoughts lead to desires, right? Desire could then lead to suffering, right? You see how it's all linked? It's all linked. So, we just got to be careful, you guys. We have to regulate our thoughts. And this is a verse that I've talked about a lot on this channel so far. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Absolutely perfect. I mean, 2 Corinthians 10:5 nails it on the head, you guys. 2 Corinthians 10:5 is we destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ, right? And then there's another beautiful verse. I actually can't remember the verse number itself, but I have the mind of Christ. I should have looked that up before I started. See, like the thing about these videos, whenever I start talking, verses pop up. I'm like, oh man, it's like you don't know what's going to come up, which is awesome about having a channel like this because it's very spontaneous, right? Anyways, I'm getting off track already. But taking thoughts captive, you guys, and learning to surrender those thoughts truthfully with truthful intent is so important. Because if you're like, okay, Lord, I surrender these thoughts to you, Lord, give me the mercy and the grace to do this. You can say that nonchalantly, or you can say that with true intent. Lord, seriously, I surrender these thoughts, Lord God, and I know I can do it. I know I can give you my desires, my God. I know I can give you the frustration, the anger, because I don't want to live in suffering anymore, Lord, with all these feelings, all this burning, right? So you guys, once you actually learn the strength to do this, it's taken me a long time, you guys. Don't think I'm any stronger than you, because there's people that are way stronger than me, all right? So it's like, guys, like, just focus on one thought at a time dismantle that frustration, because I noticed like the frustration I was going through, like even today, like I said, like today, and within like the last few weeks, within like the last month or two, like usually the frustration is like a goal, and if it's a big goal, the goal is like way out there, right? So it's like, okay, hold on, let's take a step back. Let me use an example. So something easy. Well, maybe not easy, but like, okay, like a house. We'll use a house, for example. Lord, I want a house. You start thinking like that, you know what I mean? So there's obviously a problem. You're overshooting too much at one time. Okay, you want a house, so start breaking it down. Start bringing it back. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, how can I get a house, right? How can I get there? It's like, okay, well, to get a house, I should probably learn how to be financially stable in a disciplined manner with my money, right? Okay, so, well, first I need money, right? So you see, like, how do I get money? Well, you start working, right? Okay, so you start working, bring it back even further. It's like, okay, so again, we're focused on a house. How can I achieve a house? Okay, got a job. Okay, well, what's before that? Well, let me start, just start learning about money, right? Maybe I can start saving, like start breaking it down to goals that make the bigger goal more achievable, right? Like another example, I want to pass the class that I'm in, right? Like in college, right? I want an A. Okay, well, how do you achieve an A? Well, you have to do good on your tests, and you have to do good on your homework. Okay, well, what's before that? You have to study. Okay, well, how do we get to studying? Because a lot of people don't want to study. Well, you have to sacrifice that time to study, right? So then you're like, okay, well, then if I sacrifice time to study, then I'm going to comprehend the content that I'm studying, right? It's like, okay, so you see, start breaking things down, you guys, into like smaller goals, because I think that's also a reason for the frustration and the anger that we deal with, right? Like on a daily basis. So, or, maybe some people are stronger out there, like on a monthly basis, right? That's goals, right? But a lot of the times the frustration is, again, a desire that we don't have, another one that I think a lot of people are going through right now, especially people my age, between like their like 20s and 30s, that whole age range right there. A lot of people my age are going through frustration from loneliness, right? Being single, right? Wanting that desire for intimacy, right? And I think a lot of people get frustrated with that. And it's very true. We get frustrated with that, right? So, ooh, we're going to use a wife as an example. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's get, yeah, let's do it. So let's use a wife as an example. Okay. Or like you wanting a wife as an example. So yeah, let's use wanting a wife as an example for the frustration, right? So you're like, Lord, I'm frustrated because I'm single, right? It's like, okay, so what can solve that, right? Well, obviously Christ can solve that, right? And then obviously you want a woman, right? So or if you're a lady watching this, you're gonna want your husband, right? So break it down, bring it back, because you're like, oh gosh, I want a wife. That's actually a really big goal. That's actually a really big goal, you guys. I want a spouse, right? Ooh, that's a big goal, right? So bring it back. It's like, okay, how can I get there to my wife who I desire, right? Which is a good desire. Or how can I get there to my husband that I desire? If you're a woman watching, right? How can I get there to my significant other that I desire in the future, right? It's like, okay, so bring it back. Maybe that's a big goal for you, because it is for me, you guys. And maybe you're not ready yet, right? Maybe financially you're not ready yet, right? Maybe emotionally, Maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe your relationship with God still needs some work, right? But, the wife, bring it back, right? Are you ready to sacrifice for her, right? Because what is a wife, you guys? A wife is beautiful. A wife, you have to be inconvenienced for her, right? You have to sacrifice time for her, right? You have to protect her because she's your significant other. Y'all are one, and you being a man of the household, she's going to rely on you. She's going to trust you as being the man of the household, right? So guys, like, a wife is a big goal. Start asking all the small goals, right? And guys, ask God. God loves us asking questions, right? Ask God. Okay, God, how can I get her, right? How can I get this house, right? How can I, pass my college, with an A, right? All these big goals, start bringing the goals back into smaller, achievable goals, right? So, the wife is like finding a spouse. What's interesting is like that subject is almost a little harder because like with like the college example, I was able to be like, okay, you want an A, and to break that down really significantly with a house, I was able to break that down pretty significantly. But like with a wife, it's funny because I think a lot of that testing is coming from God, probably just him wanting to just help you in every way by you surrendering, right? So, and guys, I'm a perfect example of this. I need to surrender. Oh my goodness. So there, Lord, guys, there's a couple of verses I want to talk about. Check this out, y'all. So like if you guys are, I know there's like a lot of envy out there. There's a lot of jealousy out there. Again, anger and frustration, guys. Start surrendering. Check this out. Psalm 37. Psalm 37 says, he will not forsake his saints. This is David. David, man. Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Do not be envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Check this out. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. You guys, if you believe every single word in here, like I've made the conscious decision to do, if you actually believe every single word in here, well, then this kind of brings us full circle. The frustration that we're addressing, right? The anger, the desire, which kind of turns into, which kind of turns into suffering, because you want something that you don't have. Guys, dude, I'm telling y'all, I've seen this work in my life. When you actually trust in the Lord and do good, when you dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness, when you actually delight yourself in the Lord, he will act. He will give you the desires of your heart, because God's not a liar. It says right here in Psalm 37, God is not a liar. He hears his children. He hears his children. He hears all of us. And he will give us the desires of our heart if we trust in him. That's all we got to do, is just put ourselves out there for God. Go all out for Jesus, man. Go all in. I'm all in for Christ, right? Go all in for Christ. And if you believe this, this will happen. And it has been a journey. Oh my goodness. Because guys, like the stuff I'm talking about, every example that I've used today, right? Wanting your significant other, a house, right? College, all that stuff. All those big goals, you guys, all of those big goals that I want to achieve, that a lot of people out there want to achieve. I know this because I've talked to a bunch of people. It's all the same. All these big goals, we don't have to be frustrated about these anymore. We don't have to be angry about these anymore, you guys. We don't have to be angry about the desire for intimacy, right? We don't have to be angry about the desire for a house, right? For a job, right? For money. All these kinds of things. These things, if you trust in our God, He will provide. He will provide. Now, I'm not saying to not do nothing. Don't just sit back all day and just be like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, I just dropped my pen. Damn, man, I just dropped my pen. Okay, I'm back. But anyways, guys, like, don't just sit back and expect things to happen. It's interesting. I've actually seen that happen for a few people. Like, in particularly women. I could be wrong when I say that. I mean, guys, I'm still learning a lot, man. I'm learning a lot. But, guys, like, just coming from a male perspective, don't just sit back and do nothing. Go out there, man. Pursue the things you want. If you're surrendered to Christ wholeheartedly with true intent, if you're surrendered to Christ, He's going to provide for you. Now, there's a lot of different aspects, but like true intent, right? Like all that is under the blood of the Lamb, right? So like you have, like spiritually, physically, mentally, socially, right? All these aspects of life, right? That can potentially get you down, right? Like guys, like if you fall, man, dude, this is a Psalm 42, man. Psalm 42 verse 5 says, why are you cast down, oh my soul? So like that feeling that we're addressing, like, and just kind of going through like these feelings of like bummed out. Maybe like you're feeling lethargic or lazy or kind of hopeless, to be honest, man. You're like, man, dude, I'm never going to find her. I'm never going to get this house. Should I even finish college, right? All these goals that are they're beautiful, but like they're really easy to cross off. It's like, man, guys, well, we need to learn to surrender and to take delight in the Lord. Guys, once we do this, once we take delight in the Lord, I can't say this enough. Our soul, like it talks about in Psalm 42, being cast down, our soul, our thoughts, our attitude, our vibe will no longer be cast down. We will be brought to the light and we will be filled with joy. We will be filled with delight. And guess what? When you're filled with delight, our God acts because we're being obedient. So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It has been, again, I know it's been a while since I've made a video. It's been about 5, maybe 6 weeks. I'm not even too sure. But we are back. And tomorrow, I am doing a video, you guys, over some of the dreams. Actually, no, we'll do one dream per video. So you guys, tomorrow is going to be cool. I'm going to start using thumbnails now, like images and stuff like that. So, to attract some attention. It's going to be good, you guys. The channel's going to take off and we're making progress. I'm making progress. You guys, I'm learning a lot about this stuff, all right? So thank y'all for tuning in. And let's take the light. Let's take the light in our God, because He's not a liar and He will act. So you guys, I love y'all. I'm always praying for y'all. If anybody needs prayer, drop it in the comments. We're going to be praying, you guys, okay? We're going to be taking delight in our Lord. It's time for joy. Woo! It's time for joy, okay? Let's go. Stay motivated. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good day.